The Magic Show is brought to you by StarCityGames.com, and on the weekend of October 10th and 11th, StarCityGames.com returns to the City of Brotherly Love for the first major Magic the Gathering event post-Zendikar, the Star City Games $10,000 Philadelphia Open. This event will feature hundreds of players, the SCG 5K Standard Open, the SCG 5K Legacy Open, 3 artist appearances, M10 booster drafts, Zendikar booster drafts, and more. Make plans to join us at the SCG 10K Philadelphia weekend, and we'll see you there.
This is Gerard Fabiano, and welcome to the Magic Show.
I press trigger, I don't press people button. Nobody chops gon' face me with something. Like how I have 22 and them is something. Tennis for you, so who gon' get the next dozen? I press trigger, I don't press people button. Nobody chops gon' face me with something.
Hello everybody and welcome to another edition of The Magic Show. This week we're barreling towards the Zendikar pre-release, ready to crack some packs, rock some Landfall, and discover our upcoming Standard and Extended PTQ environment. You ready for an adventure? Let's go! So this past week has been a long string of explanations, reasoning, and calming of the player base over the incredible Lotus Cobra. Quite simply, the problem is twofold. One, the card is incredibly hyped because it's obvious it's incredibly good. Secondly, the card is being overhyped by the fact that everyone is still living in magical Christmas land where turn 3 ultimatums are the norm and your opponent lives in a little bowl and swims in circles. The truth is somewhere in between. Will Lotus Cobra help define formats? You bet it will. Will it be game over if your opponent untaps with one? Of course not. The variance in Magic is simply too great to say that any card that provides an advantage, such as a free spell from Bloodbraid Elf or even a 7-for-1 via Cruel Ultimatum, will warp the game to oblivion. The fact is, many players have won after their opponent flips up Lightning or Maelstrom Pulse from Bloodbraid Elf, just like many players, including myself, have won games even after having Cruel Ultimatum resolved against them. With that said, the other issue with Lotus Cobra, as well as my own awesome spoiler Warren Instigator and the Legacy and Vintage impacting Mindbreak Trap, is the fact that these cards are mythic when they don't really feel mythic. Now, this is a gray area, so I'll tread lightly. The fact is, Wizards of the Coast is a business, and they want to make money so they can continue making this game we like so damn much. This sometimes includes raring up cards in order to sell sets. While you could argue that Baneslayer Angel was made a mythic rare as an insurance policy to sell M10 packs, you could also argue that M10 is selling like hotcakes on the back of its awesome design, killer flavor, and the fact that Baneslayer Angel is a mythic rare. Zendikar has already sold out of its first printing 2 weeks before it has even hit shelves, and you could also argue that this has to do with its awesome design, killer flavor, and 3 ridiculously powerful mythic cards. But that would negate awesome rares such as the enemy fetch lands, the new Wrath of God, and other goodies, just like the statement before that negated the power of new dual lands and awesome rares like Elvish Archdruid and Great Sable Stag. The fact is, the Magic cards we see in person for the first time this weekend have been finished for a year. This means that Lotus Cobra has been mythic for a year at Wizards of the Coast, and so have Mindbreak Trap and Warren Instigator. Complaining about this now won't change what's in Worldwake, or the set after that, rumored to be Rise of the Eldrazi, or even Magic 2011. It's like complaining about how the actor portrayed a character on the opening weekend of a movie. There's nothing that can be done, probably not even for the actor or director's next movie either. The definition of mythic spells, as originally defined, was epic-feeling creatures and spells, whatever that means. Just recently, Aaron Forsyth twittered the following to help us figure out what makes a mythic rare. Quote, "My definition of a mythic rare, cards that are jaw-dropping to some part of the audience." And I agree. Lotus Cobra, Mindbreak Trap, and Warren Instigator all made my jaw drop. Partially because they're so damn good, and partially because it's jaw-dropping how much tournament players are going to be dishing out for playsets of these cards. Am I saying it's wrong to put these cards at mythic rarity? Nah. It's Wizards' prerogative to put whatever cards they want at whatever rarity they want. However, I will go on record saying that I really dislike all 3 of these cards at mythic simply because a 2/1/2 drop with a great ability isn't really mythic in my book, and neither is a great counterspell. But not sure about old Instigator, though. I mean, he's pretty damn mythic in my opinion for a goblin. I mean, seriously, that card made your jaw drop, and you've got the legacy players telling you it's overhyped anyway. However, with this jaw-dropping distinction needed for a mythic, would it really be out of place for Lightning Bolt to be mythic? I mean, it's awe-inspiring, and I know my jaw dropped when I saw it was coming back to Standard, yet it's a mere common. For me, I believe you have to acknowledge the fun side as well as the business side of Magic, even if you don't really enjoy acknowledging said financials. There are plenty of posts and comments bemoaning how expensive it is to play tournament-level Magic, and many of these complaints have nuggets of truth to them. It really does cost money to play Tier 1 decks in tournaments for cash and prizes? But it also takes creativity to take the cheaper unknown gems and turn them into powerhouses to win those same events. There's also, of course, an entire segment of the player population who has never and never will see a Magic show, play outside their kitchen table, or see the inside of a PTQ top 8. This is our variance, and to keep all of those player demographics happy is quite a challenge. And honestly, I think Wizards has gotten better and better at it. Either way, I'll wrap this up by saying yes, there will be more Baneslayer Angels and Lotus Cobras in the future. This is how Wizards sells its product, and there's no use complaining about it. I, for one, am still glad enemy fetch lands and Day of Judgment are simply rare, along with a host of other powerful and useful cards in the upcoming Standard environment. There are still plenty of crap mythics, if by crap you mean crap in the format you enjoy best. Until then, however, try to appreciate the fact that not all rarity decisions are going to go your way. Now, on to the spoilers. Alright, so this week we didn't really receive any big Lotus Cobra-esque reveals, but one in particular looks really fascinating, called Blood Chief Ascension. Now, this card is just fantastic. Let's see what makes it tick. Firstly, 2 damage a turn is going to be a pretty easy thing to do, whether you're a mono-black vampire deck or red-black lightning aggro. We now have Carnophage 2.0 in the form of Vampire Lacerator and Goblin Guide to make sure the 2 damage a turn is no biggie, along with Volcanic Fallout and Lightning Bolt to trigger this as well. Once this enchantment is turned on, holy crap, basically everything your opponent does will be painful for them. Now the key to the power of this card is the wording. Whenever a card is put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, you drain 2 life out of them. They play a removal spell, you drain 2. You kill their guy, you drain 2. They use a fetch land, you drain 2. The card just keeps giving you a bonus for playing Magic over the course of the game. Multiples of this trigger each other, another crazy fun and scary fact, and just think of how fun it will be to turn on Blood Chief Ascension, watch them use a fetch land, and then play Archive Trap to kill them for free instantly. Ha! Now that's a whoopin'. I think this card is getting just the right amount of hype. It's obvious the card is ridiculous, but in what form the winning deck built around it will be is still a mystery. I would suggest picking these up while they're still in the is it really that good phase. Speaking of underrated cards, check out Conqueror's Pledge. Wow, I don't know if you realize how powerful 6 dudes are on turn 5, let alone with an Honor of the Pure out, but damn. This puts Cloudgoat Ranger to shame in a myriad of ways, and at the very least shows us Spectral Procession 2.0, and I'll be damned if I underrate another awesome white token producer. I think the trick to this card is to actually look past the kicker. If you're playing on tournament tables and your lands don't say Urzas on them, you're never going to kick this. It's nice to have it as an option if you really do get to that point, but I digress. The card is right up the White Weenie curve, allowing you to play a Johnny Goldman on turn 4 and follow up with this in what will have to be a you have Day of Judgment or we go to game 2 moment. It gives you 1 more point of power than the mana you paid for it, and while it almost demands to be played in a singular style of deck, it's damn good in that deck, and I would pick these up before anyone else notices. Also note how Wizards gave you the best anti-volcanic fallout card this side of harm's way in Brave the Elements. Cheap instant protection for all of your guys, token or not? I'll take it. But we're not done with awesome white cards yet. How about the creature-only Oblivion Ring, Journey to Nowhere? Obviously fantastic in Limited. I don't know if this will make its way into Constructed, but I love how it will be awesome in casual decks, and in Limited it will do about 90% of what Oblivion Ring accomplished in the past formats, such as Lorwyn and Shards of Alara Limited. I love the design and look forward to future explorations of White's Oblivion Ring-esque possibilities. But how about a really clever blue card? There is no shortage of those, and in Zendikar we have Kosi's Trickster. Yep, this is a card that will probably not excite standard players, but could be a beast in vintage and legacy formats where they shuffle their hearts out every chance they get. Between fetch lands, the myriad of tutors, gifts ungiven, trinket mage, and other all-stars, Kosi's Trickster will hit 4/4 in just a few turns flat. That's not too bad for a blue 1/1 that is still pitchable to Force of Will. It also seems fantastic in EDH, where your myriad of opponents will be happily tutoring for things and fetching lands while the Trickster reaches immense proportions. Best EDH 1-drop this side of Sol Ring? Perhaps. Speaking of clever blue cards, here's one. Trapmaker's Snare. I love this card because of the awesome traps available in Zendikar. While you are revealing the trap that you get, you can do this both offensively and defensively. If you're blue-green playing a control deck and you really want to resolve your fatty next turn, use Trapmaker's Snare to get the Flores-spoiled Summoning Trap. This trap is very interesting in that it rewards playing large guys, is still viable as a 6-mana end-of-your-turn surprise such as Sphinx of Lost Truths or Broodmate Dragon, and is a potential blowout depending on what monsters you happen to find in your top 7. This will be one scary trap for control players, and I hope they have their own Mindbreak trap at the ready just in case. Moving on, you know how vampires are going to rock in Standard, right? Or at least it sure looks like Wizards is trying to make them matter. Either way, deck builders were looking for something to go somewhere between Vampire Nighthawk and Sorin Markov, and Wizards delivered. Check out the black intro pack rare, Malakir Blood Witch. Oh yeah, that does say protection from Baneslayer Angel, and don't you forget it. I for one am astounded this isn't 6 mana, as it certainly looks like it based on previous 5 mana 4 power flyers such as 10th edition Singer Vampire. Nowadays, not only do you get 4 power of flyer for 5 mana, you get protection and a kick-ass ability to boot. The ability to drain 4+ life with Malakir Blood Witch is no joke, will be a powerful finisher and that is not only evasive, but dodges the 3 most powerful and popular removal spells in the format: Doomblade, Lightning Bolt, and Path to Exile, while not allowing their Baneslayer Angel to attack. Now that's quality. As I mentioned before, this is the rare to the intro pack, so expect that to keep prices reasonable, much like Honor of the Pure never went to the lofty $15+ heights thanks to its intro pack inclusion. But you know what I really love about Zendikar? The flavor. The flavor of Zendikar, an adventure world where travelers of all types, hell, let's call them allies, as they need to work together in their own way, help each other traverse the incredible world around them, even as it sometimes actively tries to kill them. The artifacts in this set, at least the ones that refer to specific pieces of equipment an adventurer might use, are just awesome and really give you that Indiana Jones feel while looking over them. This is the intangible uniqueness that each set tries to bring, and with Zendikar it really shines. I mean, just look at how Zelda this set looks. The grappling hook, the boots, the adventuring gear, fantastic. As for the set, I'm pretty sure you know how I feel about it. Zendikar for me has been a hell of a reveal these past few weeks and looks to be a fairly kick-ass set in the new Standard environment. Warp World decks look ridiculous with Lotus Cobra and Omnixilus. Mono Black Vampires will be a deck that is destined to show up in some fashion, and there are plenty of surprises in store, I believe, from other suspect rares and mythics such as Beastmaster Ascension and Eldrazi Monument. So you know what to do. Find yourself a pre-release and get yourself to one. I'll be live and in person this weekend with Ken Nagel from Wizards of the Coast in Richmond, Virginia, and I hope to see you all there. Say hello, play some Magic, and have fun, because that's what it's all about. So until next time, Magic players, this is Evan Irwin, tapping the cards so you don't have to.
I always like the fatties.